Hey, is the proverbial jury still out for you when it comes to thinking about Twitter/X and whether it's becoming more open to speech and links to valuable information? Well, let's take this opportunity to see one data point that encouraged a lot of people who stand for truth. It's a move by X to flag Paul Krugman for misinformation when he posted something about the economy that was, yeah, you got it, utterly decoupled from economic reality. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and I'll let you decide whether this is a master class in truth versus deception. Here's the story. Purported economist Paul Krugman is a minor celebrity of sorts. He's adored by people on the left, apparently, and often excoriated by people who believe in freedom and the U.S. Constitution. And all of this debate comes not because some people think that he nearly landed the lead role in the movie Clueless, and it's not because many suspect that he was the unidentified subject of the Rollins Band song Liar. Though both possibilities seem very strong to those who actually understand economics. Kruggy's so-called reputation for goofy takes on productivity and his unending love of government central planning have become so infamous, two of the world's best economics teachers, Robert Murphy and Thomas Woods Jr., actually had years of fun producing a weekly podcast called Contra Krugman, in which they would mock Krugman's pieces for the New York Times, and then they would offer real economics and help people actually learn. And it seems as if the folks at the Elon Musk-infused Twitter/X might have learned a thing or two from Murphy and Woods, or perhaps they had the economic common sense that often is lacking at the New York Times, because they recently checked on Krugman's claims regarding inflation being a non-thing, and they called him to task for the fantasy. In an October 12th tweet, Krugman claimed, quote, "The war on inflation is over. We won at very little cost," end quote. Which not only runs counter to reality, it's also so counterfactual, and it's such an in-your-face falsehood, it's an insult, and indicates the utter disrespect and contempt for people that Krugman might actually hold. Kruggy mixed his words with a visually deceptive chart of the Consumer Price Index, covering the start of January 2022 through the end of September 2023, and appearing to show declining prices. Of course, almost instantly, real economists, such as Peter St. Onge, exposed the falsity of the tweet, noting that the CPI chart didn't factor in the sharp month-to-month, year-to-year compounded price increases in key market goods. Wrote St. Onge about the chart and Krugman's lame framing of it, quote, "Excluding everything you buy, inflation is doing amazing," end quote. And Professor St. Onge added a clown face emoji to boot. You know, such a colorful addition from St. Onge seems appropriate to apply to Krugmeister's tweet, since Krugman's chart, and some might call it an illusion, omitted those important facts. They're pretty fundamental. In fact, they're facts that we've reported at MRC-TV often, facts that St. Onge understands, and facts that the Biden administration repeatedly attempts to hide from Americans. They also are truths that Elon Musk's new Twitter/X provided, calling out Krugman for his deceit. As Charlotte Hazard reports for Just the News, quote, "The exclusion of food, shelter, energy, and used cars is misleading," the X community notes read. All prices included in CPI show year-over-year inflation at 3.7% as of September 2023, end quote. Indeed, as I mentioned, Twitter users who follow MRC-TV likely already read Brittany Hughes' piece on that price problem published earlier on the very same day as Krugman's deceptive tweet. Apart from what the data reveal about price increases caused by central banks, central government fed inflation of the money supply, this year-to-year trend is part of a functional equation, seeing annual price increases that are compounded each year. So it's not really even the stunning 3.7% we're seeing today that's the only problem. It's 3.7% compounded on a nearly 6.5% increase last year, compounded on 7% the previous year, and so on and so on and so on. Which is why I wrote for the Mises Institute about the money print problem back in 2004. As pragcap.com noted in 2014, such an increase in the stock of paper/digital money, i.e. the Federal Reserve note we're told to call the dollar, has resulted in it losing nearly 100% of its comparable buying power in 100 years. The only thing that's helped stave off greater deprivation in our lives has been the astounding productivity of people who, decade after decade, have striven in the competitive market to be more productive and get products and services to customers for less. Like throwing productivity sandbags in front of a creeping printed money tide, we still can stand, but the central bank keeps flooding us with more valueless cash, funding pork programs and political salaries, and undercutting the important drive of free people to get the value of their trades, rather than being defrauded by government and a government monopoly bank. Krugman appears to be oblivious to all these very important moral and economic facts. And perhaps that's to be expected, coming from a guy who not only refused to call the Obama-era economic troubles a depression, but who assiduously used the soft term economic downturn instead, even as other deceptive so-called economists alternated that term with recession. The W. Bush-Obama era downturn, as they called it, was not merely a recession. The massive decrease in gross domestic product took so long to return to pre-January 2008 levels that it was a depression. Only recently have some left-leaning economists admitted this. The more often fraudulent ideology and statistical legerdemain like Krugman's are exposed, the better, of course. It's not just a matter of economic progress here, it's a matter of morality. One might want to question the morality of a man like Krugman, who so often has shown such utter contempt for the truth, and for us, the people at whom he directs his politically loving nonsense. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and please join us on Rumble, where they don't censor us. That is great. Of course, they still censor us on YouTube, and we are there, so give it the thumbs up and double check that you're subscribed there if you do subscribe over there. And please share the videos far and wide, a couple times, 3 times, 4 times, whatever. Please do so, because it really helps get the word out. And of course, find us all the time at MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org. While you're there, please visit the MRC Store, check out what the whole team is doing, and consider contributing to the Media Research Center to help everyone do their work. You can find us on Instagram, on TikTok, in Facebook, and on Twitter/X. And if you want to find me on Gab, I'm at Gardner Goldsmith, and on Twitter/X, I'm at Gard Goldsmith. For MRC TV, thank you so much for watching. I'm Gardner Goldsmith.